Here's a legendary tune that started off as a simple folk arrangement, but later in the studio, the Rolling Stones brought in a pianist and a percussionist, and the song took on a whole new life. In this video, I want to share with you some insider tips on the guitar style behind it. So grab your axe and let's dive into this Sympathy for the Devil chords and guitar lesson. Now we're going to start off with the main progression, which is the majority of the song. It sounds like this. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. So we've got just 3 chords here, and I'm going to show you just the basic chords. I'll show you some fancier rhythm stuff and even some lead as well. So we're going to begin with the E chord, and that's just open E here using all 6 strings. Open, 2, 2, 1, open, open. Then we go to a D, just from the 4th string down, open, 2, 3, 2. And then an A, I play with just my index finger there on the middle strings, open, starting on the 5th string, open, 2, 2, 2. Now I added this cool walking bass line in there, and I got that from the piano part. So there's no guitar right at the top, it's piano, and so if you're gonna do it on guitar, I like to kind of grab some of those different parts that make it sound like the recording. So what I played there is just E for a bar, so 1, 2, 3, 4, then switch to D, 2, 3, 4, then switch to A, 2, 3. Then I played this walk up, starting on the 4th string. The notes are open D, D sharp on the 1st fret, and then I go to an E. So that note E there is in the E chord, but I just play the whole chord to sort of resolve that melody. So it's a combination of a little riff, bass line, and chords. So rhythmically, that's going to come in on the and a 3. So it's going to go 1, 2, and 3. Then the next note is on the E of 4. So it's 3 and 4, E and then E is on the downbeat. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, E and a 1, 2, 3. Here's the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3 and 4, E and a 1, 2, 3. Then we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3 and 4, E and a 1. Now that's the main progression there. Now this progression, E, D to A, is in the key of E major, but it immediately has this bluesy sound when you add the D. Also, this is very bluesy. You know, you can think of, right, there's that Stevie Ray Vaughan lick from Pride and Joy that does that. But really it comes out of, you know, these notes here come out of the E minor blues scale. And if you don't know how to play this scale anywhere on the fretboard, then I want to give you a gift. Go to johnmclennan.com/blues-scales and get your hands on my free blues scale PDF guide. This is going to show you the easiest and fastest ways to start playing the blues scale up and down the neck. And later when we get into soloing on this, right, when there's licks like that come in later, those are all using notes from the blues scale. So you're going to want to make sure you know this. It applies to lead and rhythm. Just go to johnmclennan.com/blues-scales and grab that now as my gift to you. So this progression goes over and over for the verse. And then when we come out of the verse, the last time we go like this. 1, 2, 3. I'll just play simple chords. D, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. Then we go E, 2, 3, 4. And we have one extra bar of E before we go to the next section. And there's these little moves that the piano does throughout the song. It just flows. It's not a specific, like, oh, here's what I play every time. It's playing from a feel and just grooving with the music. So it's gonna be a little different every time, but some of those variations might be using sus4 chords. So an example of that might be E, 2, 3, 4. Just that little embellishment there. So what I did is I brought in this E sus4 chord. That's the chord from Behind Blue Eyes, by the way, by The Who. Check out that lesson on my channel. Another great song that uses this chord. But you just play 2, 2, 2 starting on the 5th string there. And then the rest of the strings open. And you just, if you think about that E, you're just changing one note, right? And then you go back. A lot of times, sus4 chords resolve like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's the main progression. That's going to come for the solos. That's for the verse as well. Then we have one other part we need to know. There's really just 2 sections to the song. The second part starts in the chorus, pleased to meet you, hope you get my name. So, right, that goes to a B chord. And I use a bar chord here on the 2nd fret, 2, 4, 4, 4. Some people play B7 if you want to make it easier. You know, you could play the bar chord up here if you want. But if you want to get the sus, there's 2 ways you could do it that I think are the best. You either do what I'm showing you here, 2, 3, 4. Right? There's this little sus move in there. So again, just like the E sus4, you do the same thing on the B. So 2, 4, 4, 4. And then you reach up with your pinky, grab the 5th fret on the 2nd string, and then come back. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And hope guess my name. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's the nature of my game. 2, 3, 4. So the chorus just goes essentially from B to E, but we're adding those little embellishments. Now I said there's 2 ways to do it. The other way you could do it is the thumb chord, which would probably be, you know, if you want to be more in the style of Jimi Hendrix, you can play it up there. Right? Or here. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. All right, so those are the only 2 sections that you need to know. So you plug those into the song. Now from there, you may have noticed that my rhythm was very sparse. Like, sure, I have the verse where I have these piano licks, you know, cool little fills you can do. And then the chorus, it really does sound great to play simple. So don't be afraid to just 2, 3, 4, you know, and let the band kind of, remember, there's all this percussion, you know, playing all these 16th note figures that are so busy. So you can kind of pull back and just let them carry it while you hit these big chords. So don't be afraid to do that. Now, if you want to add more rhythm, which I'm sure, you know, so many guitar players are so antsy, right? They're like, I gotta add more rhythm, I gotta be fancied up. Then you can try a pattern like this. 3, 4. So what I'm doing here is I'm taking the main progression, which again is E, D, A, E. It's a 4-bar progression, 1 bar on each chord, right? So E for a bar, D for a bar, A for a bar, E for a bar. Now when you loop it around, it starts with E and it ends with E, so it's gonna go E, D, A, E, and then E, D. So there's, when you loop it around, there's 2 E's, right? So you can do those chords as bar chords, which if you haven't learned how to play effortless bar chords yet, then go to johnmclennan.com/7mistakes, grab my bar chord cheat sheet. But here we're using the E bar chord, D bar chord, and then there's a really great sound where you play an A chord like this, but you put the C sharp in the bass, which is the 4th fret of the 5th string. And then you could also mix in, of course, your open E with the bar chord. There's no rules on this stuff, right? Just jam out, make it sound good. Here, we're gonna play 2 8th notes for the rhythm. So we're gonna go 1 and, that's down, down. And then on the 2nd beat, I'm gonna go 2 E and up. So that's an 8th note and then 2 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and up. And the key to getting this is chicka, 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 chicka. Think about the percussion, right? Baka, 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 16th note rhythm. There's this groove flowing through the whole song, and that's what makes people want to dance, right? 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. So it's gonna start bop, 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 bop. 1 E and a 2 E and then 3 E. We'll play on the E of 3 and then the of 3, 3 E and okay, 3 E and then on beat 4, 4 E and So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and That's second half is up, up, down, up, down. So all together, down, 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 up, 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 down, up, down, up. That's the pattern. Total kind of, again, blues scale stuff there. So that gives you a sample groove, which is really fun to jam over with a looper pedal and play some solos. So let me give you an example of that next. So you get the idea there, and that's all just using the blues scale over this progression. So again, if you want to go deeper with this, you want to learn to rip solos just like Keith Richards and all the legends, then go to johnmclennan.com/bluescales and grab my free blues scale PDF guide. This is going to show you the easiest and fastest way to start unlocking this stuff for yourself, so you can have a ton of fun ripping solos and playing the music that you love. Just go to johnmclennan.com/bluescales and grab that now as my gift to you. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you might like this one next.